I would say that the biggest piece of advice that I would give my younger self about transitioning would be the fact that transitioning is not a linear process. There's going to be times where you're going to have bumps in the road and things like that, and you will maybe come across some people that aren't always supportive, but there are so many folks that care about you and love you that they're all around. I wasn't alone, and that there are actually other people in my circumstance was like something I think I would want to tell my younger self. So the first time I found belonging, especially as a trans person, I think I was in college because growing up in West Michigan specifically, there wasn't really a lot of opportunity for me to express myself. I come from like the Bible Belt of Michigan, so that just wasn't going to be a thing. But it was once I got to college and I joined like a local LGBT organization on my campus that I was able to find other folks that were in the same position as me, that were just starting out, that were still trying to figure out gender identity and expression. It was kind of hard to find trans people, but even just that small community, it probably saved my life in college. I just have to think about it. Thank God for editing.
I'm so sure.
Yeah.
And what's the vibe of it for you this time?
It's I go to a lot of conferences just from like professional things, stuff like that. I actually this is my favorite conference just because of just the general vibe of it. Everyone's kind of here together, just kind of making sure everyone's like feeling okay and just doing all right in general. It's just like a nice vibe, whereas other conferences, everyone's just kind of like there, just doing their things for themselves. I feel like there's been a lot more inclusion, even more than last year, I believe. Like I only went to a couple workshops, and I went one for trans people with Asperger's, and just trans people in the workplace. That was actually very helpful to have like other trans professionals like in the workplace kind of helping us navigate it, because not every workplace is actually like that cool about stuff like this, and just kind of not always having to be out and proud in a way.
Keeping yourself safe.
Yeah, keeping yourself safe above all else. Like not hiding yourself, but not also like having to put yourself out there in like a weird position all the time kind of thing. Everyone's pretending like it's totally fine. Like no one knows what they're doing. Everyone's lying. Everyone's faking it. It's completely fine. Used to be very weird about having like hide a lot of stuff, but honestly everyone's hiding, so it's cool. Just like think of it as a little alter ego, and then once you get into college, everyone takes that mask off and it's like a crazy party. Me particularly is kind of accepting my kind of like neurodivergence, and because this is something I used to like push at the time, like being on the autistic spectrum, and like just needing decompression is a big thing for me. And I used to always just like put it off to the side and like just pushing myself to like get out of my comfort zone all the time. But it's okay. I'm very upfront with my friends now. It's like, I need a minute. This is a lot kind of thing. And that's just something I do every day. And it's been, even at work, I'm upfront. People don't really ask too much about it. I'm like, I need a minute.
That sounds like you.
Yeah.
That sounds like you know how to take care of yourself a little bit better and what your needs are.
Yeah, I think I always knew, is just actually doing it. Thanks for making this painless, honestly.
Oh my goodness, what advice would I give my old self is, you know what, just kind of stay true to who I am, what I'm feeling inside, even though I may not be able to, kind of put a name to it or quite figure it all out. Just know that, I'm not alone, that there are probably other people having these same feelings, and, it'll all come together. So yeah, just hang in there. You know what? I cannot think of a specific moment where someone said anything. I think it was more so just kind of myself, kind of navigating through life, and I think seeing a lot of other people who were living it and doing it and okay and successful and having families was definitely, a game changer for me. You know what? Family is tough. We're still on the journey. I would say, although it wasn't something that they understood, it was like, hey, still love you, you're my kid. But I think there was also a bit of a disconnect, like, hey, we love you and we support you, but how much effort are we really going to put into this thing? You know what I mean? Like, hey, we need time. And again, like I said, it's still a journey. I would say for the most part supportive. But again, like I said, still getting to where I would like for us to be. I would love to hear my parents say that, you know what, even though like my son maybe extraordinary, or but hey, just still proud of him, everything that he's accomplished, love him no matter what, which I've heard those things, but really feel it and mean it, Yeah, feel it in my bones, exactly. Yeah, master's in clinical mental health counseling, because this whole process of just kind of meeting with various, health mental health professionals, and just a process that we have to go through to get to where we want to be. I said it would be nice to, have mental health professionals that are a reflection, of us, go in and talk about our issues, and someone really be able to say, no, for real, I get it, and I'm not just saying that to check a box or empathize with you, like, no, I really, get it. Like, I cannot stress how important mental health is, and for me, it's I would say a variety, just kind of like, I really enjoy working out, and for me, it is more mental than physical. Support groups, I do give back in that way as well. Host a support group and just be around other folks and hearing other people's journeys is also very therapeutic. So I'm excited for all of our futures, honestly. I just feel like just to be in this space and to be around all these people, I'm like, it's only going to get bigger.
We doing that?
Yeah, it's only going to get bigger. This is exciting. Yeah.
What a gift you are.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you all. Thank you.
It's so cliche, but it gets better. It does. Just because you feel trapped in, whether that be, what you're wearing or how you're presenting or whatever, you can, overcome that and become the man you are today, Probably like elementary school. I associated as a boy, very much so, until I was heartbroken and my mom's like, you can't wear those clothes anymore now that you're going to middle school and high school. And I'm like, but why? Why not? Like, this is how I feel comfortable. My family and society probably repressed me back to my feminine ways, or whatever you want to call it. And then finally I was like, you know what? No, I don't want to do this anymore. And I came out first as lesbian and then second as trans. I would be more physical health. I go to the gym. I gotta go at least, once, twice a week, maybe, or even for a run, just to let off steam, clear your head. I think talking to someone's really good too, whether it be a therapist or just someone that has similar experiences as you. This is just a whirlwind. Like, you wake up one day as one person, and then you feel like, it could be weeks, months, years later, and you look in the mirror and you're like, oh my God, that's me. But now, almost 3 years on now, I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm feeling more home in my body now. So, yeah.
Thanks so much for talking.
Of course.
Tribe with you this time.
Yeah, I came with my parents and my aunt. They're all very supportive, and my aunt kind of wanted to know more about the community, so.
Nice. How's that going for you?
It's going awesome. She's learning a lot. She was one of those people who's always supported the community, but hasn't come across the language to evolve with it yet. So the vibe is amazing. It's amazing being surrounded by people who are just like you, and knowing that everyone exists together and happily, and also all over. Yeah. So that's probably the most life-changing part of it, I think.
If you were able to give words of advice to yourself, like when maybe you were 12 or 13 years old, what would you be able to say to that person?
Probably trust yourself, because, I spent so many years thinking I had to be something else for everyone else, and then figuring out that it was what I wanted was the best thing to do. You know yourself better than anyone else, and at the end of the day, you're the one you go home with, you're the one you go to bed with. You got to keep yourself going. So yeah, well, writing for me is my biggest thing. I think that writing and reflection can help you change your mindset, can help you realize where you were even just hours and days before. I think it really gets everything out for you, and then you can look at it and just go over it, understand it, experience it again, or say this is what we're going to change to fix that, So I think that writing is very good for mental health.
Now, there's tons of people who are going to watch this that couldn't be here that would love to come and be here. So what would you say to them?
I would say try to make it some year, because it is one of the best experiences of your life. You get in here and you're just surrounded by other people who are just like you and full of love, and everyone's so accepting. It's very comforting.
You got it. That's it. Thanks a lot, Jay.
Now, I've thought about it a lot. I still don't know exactly what I'd say, but I would be like, you should probably come out, because it'll probably be fine. Your parents will support you enough, and like you'll get by. I came out at 24, but I wanted to come out when I was 12, and I like tested, and it was like not too great, so I just didn't.
I was involved with the conference for years. This is probably, if I was to guess, I don't know, 12th, 13th conference. So, a lot of people come from other countries too, and this is the only time I get to see them, and even people from faraway states. So, you know, you have to, you gotta come, yeah. Disability, now that I'm paraplegic, has become a big thing in my life. So I like to come to the conference, and, you know, when you're not disabled and you don't have family members, you know, I was able-bodied for years, you don't really think much about it. You know, it's not an issue. But once you become it and you realize how hard it is, because you're living it day to day, and how inaccessible everything is in the city, you know, even outside the city, it's a tough life. It's not easy, you know. I mean, there are other disabled trans people in the city, you know, and they have the same concerns, the same issues that I do, you know. I mean, people are holding events, organizations are holding events in, you know, venues that we can't get into. I mean, there was an opening, was not, I don't think, particularly sponsored with the conference, but it was held Wednesday night, and I wanted to attend, and it was a second floor thing over on South Street, and so I was like, you know, can I? No, you can't get in. You can't get into the second. Actually, you cannot even get into the building. So why was there no thought given to the disabled? We could do a lot better. We could do a whole lot. I wish, you know, like I said, I'm 64 years old. Back when I was 12, 13, I mean, coming out as gay, as accepted as it is today, it's, well, we're kind of turning the clock back in this administration a little bit, but, you know, you were getting murdered for being, so, you know, plus there was no internet, there was no nothing, you know, and I knew how I felt, but I had no clue what it was, and if you went to the library to look things up, there was nothing. Holy shit, there's other people like me, and this is a thing, you know. I would tell my 13-year-old self to transition then. My whole life would be different, you know. Yeah, I mean, I love my life. I love who I am, you know. I loathed who I was for so many years. You know, I'm an attempted murder survivor, you know, and that's basically why I'm, you know, paralyzed. And so most people don't survive. They get killed, you know. I feel that being alive is kind of like a gift for me, you know. So since I'm here, I'm going to do as much as I can. Just can't quit. You have to just keep trying. You have to get up. You have to do it over and over again. And if you can't get up, you get a damn chair and you keep going at it. You know, however it is, you know.
It's probably the best quote.
You just keep going no matter what. That's what it's all about. You have to keep going, you know.
I'm Daniel. This is my first time at the conference.
I'm Derek. This is my 7th time at the conference. Yeah.
I'm Weston. This is my 12th time at the conference. I'm Caden. This is my 7th probably time also.
It's bigger than it was when we started to come here, which is great. Just different things, different options for people. When we started coming here, there was one packer that you could buy, and now there's so many options.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more inclusive of like everyone in the community rather than just like trans men and trans women. A lot of like non-binary focus now, as before it was literally just trans men, trans women. Hanging out.
Just been chilling.
We're going to the bottom surgery show and tell, so that's why we're looking forward to.
To Philly.
We had the intentions of going to the workshop, but we just...
Yeah, but it's really just to see each other. Like,
is this the only time you get to see each other?
Some not years, us, but some of
There's
our
some people
friends.
that we only see at the conference that we never see during the rest of the year because people come from all over.
Get it together. What does that mean? It means we were a mess. Like, I don't know. We were a mess. Like, I don't know. I think it's amazing that we are now adults and like doing adult things. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say here.
I would have said that you will find where you belong and who you belong with, and don't give up until you get there.
Like that this awkward time is going to be over and it's just kind of like a bridge period.
I think I would say whatever you're going through, it will pass, and there's so much to look forward to. Investing in when your body feels like it's betraying you, like investing in your body, eating right, trying to exercise, whatever that looks like to people. If that means going to the gym, if that means going for a walk, just being grateful for the body that you have.
And it seems like you all invest a lot in friendship.
Yeah.
I was trying to approach one of you, and then suddenly, like, this circle grow really big.
Wolf pack.
Yeah, we're wolf pack.
Yeah, the wolf pack.
Here's a game we're gonna play. You are all gonna say one thing that you appreciate about the other person. Right? So what do we appreciate about Caden?
Caden is like honestly the sweetest person, and is so grounded in yourself. Like, I know you probably don't feel that, but I've always felt that in you.
So Weston, what do we like about Weston?
I like that I can go to him whenever I need somebody, and he's always there to just listen to what I have to say.
I appreciate Weston's growth, because when I met Weston, and then we went to college together,
There are stories.
he had a moment where he was not the best person, but then he grew, and I always saw that in you, and now he's a full human giving back to his community.
What do we like about Derek?
He's a sweetie. Derek's like the big brother of the group. Like he's always like taking care of all of us. Like for Philly, we were young and he would book us the hotels. We love Danny. I like Dan because he's so matter of fact with what he says, and like he's like honest, and like I feel like he's not ever gonna like give me bullshit, you know.
Don't be afraid to find out who you really are, because you're so worried about what everybody else is going to think or say. At the end of the day, you have to always put you first, and sometimes it's okay to be selfish.
Yeah, there's like a long period of learning in like self-discovery and self-growth, and I think that like don't rush that time. Like take that time and like learn from it and experience it, because like every bit of it gives you more and more of what you need to like get to where you want to be eventually.
Is there anything else that you would want to say?